There's a $145,000 bounty from Kim.com, Investigate Earth podcast, and a wealthy follower who ran for upper office. That they have all donated this money, and the intention is that anyone who can find the hoaxer of these videos, if anyone thinks that they're not real, go find the hoaxer, bring us the hard drive full of their source work, and you can get $145,000. That's how serious, not just me, but the people who've been following this case are about proving that these videos are authentic. If you really forced me, like say, hey, Ashton, who do you think faked these then, given your newest update? I would say that this almost has to be some type of psyop in terms of the government or a state actor putting them together for whatever reason. Just because so much of the information is like classified information, military assets, and then just the amount of effort it would take to put together as well in such a small time frame. Okay, we just watched that effect several times. This is not the same. This is completely different. Now, what they've done is they've tried to match up a single frame of this. And all you have to do to debunk it for everybody listening is just ask how many pixels match. And the reason why no one will answer is because the pixels don't match. So that's very important. If you're trying to say that this effect must be the same, then the pixels must match 100%. The amount of painstaking effort it would take to change all the pixels, that's the reason why you use an effect, so that you don't have to painstakingly change all the pixels. This right here, this is not the same. This is not even close.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Alien Addict. As ever, I'm Lee Stevens. Before I bring up Dave and Ollie, and hopefully later on we will be joined by Ashton, I want to sell you some stuff. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video. You can support us on Patreon if you want to. You can become a channel member if you want to. You can just click share now and share this on whatever is your favorite social media platform. Doing it on X is probably better than the rest of them. I think that's about it. There's an audio form of this podcast, so if you don't listen to all the shows, because sometimes it can be a bit of a pain sitting down for 2 hours to listen to a whole thing on YouTube, this show will be available in audio format Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. Alien Addict is on all of the platforms as well, and the links are also down there in the description in the link tree, which I hope Ollie's used this time. Oliver, Dave, did you use my link tree, Ollie?
I got that carried away with stuff. I just totally forgot to put that in there.
So everything I just said is a lie. The links aren't down below. Ollie will do this in retrospect.
I'll put the link tree. I'll put the link tree in as we're speaking.
Right. Good. So the first of all, I've looked at the comments, and before we get any further into what this show we're going to talk about, I'm going to point out I really fucking like Ashton. I think he's a dead nice guy. And all of the shit that we get in the comments sometimes, Alien Addict doesn't play that way, I'm afraid. And the yellow cards and red cards are coming so fast today because I'm fucking done with a few of yous. I'm so done with it. Like, it's all well and good having this thing, but I don't understand why all of a sudden people are like hanging off the sack hair of Mick West, when all we've done for the past 2 years, is complain about Mick West trying to debunk everything. But this time, oh no, good old Mickey West, he's right. He helped make a skateboard game, don't you know?
It is.
I enjoyed that skateboard game back in the day.
I
Yeah,
never
so
played
did I.
video game. Never played video games. I never did
Ever?
that. No, man. I had
Don't
a
let me tell the
PlayStation.
story again.
I had a PlayStation with no memory card like for it, like the PlayStation 1.
That's so sad. That's
Yeah,
that's child abuse.
I had Crash Bandicoot. I didn't play it. Had a Nintendo once. And play it.
So you had Crash Bandicoot, and the only way you had to complete it in one run, or you were fucked.
Well, I mean, I never really played. Like, it was never a thing. Like, I had a lot of friends that were into it, but that's just me. I grew up poor. I was lucky to have the PlayStation. I stole it. It's only half true. The viciousness that kind of has come after Ashton's unbelievable. I mean, it was always unbelievable when he was putting things out, and then people are like, it's personal. See, this is it. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing to see how people, especially in the conspiracy world, quickly turn things into this personal topic. You know, like if you watch the Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson made a good point. It's like, you know, when you start talking about that school incident, which we're not going to talk about so we don't get in trouble here, but people thought Alex Jones did it. It was never the case. In fact, he really didn't say much about it at all. There's a couple comments, and that's what they tried to pin, and that had nothing to do with all those court issues. This is the same kind of thing that happens here. Is you have someone that puts out, you have people that, you know, you could see people when they would put out the first Debunked, you just see all these people that were, hey, this is great, turn vicious, immediately make it personal, call him crazy. Grifter. I still don't understand how he's grifting. I don't get that unless he's selling a book I don't know about or trying to catch. Like he's not. Mm-hmm. It's very weird. It's very weird. And grifter gets thrown out a lot. It's a super overused word.
Yeah,
I'm fed up with it.
Yeah. So basically, everybody who runs anything for profit is a grifter. The Starbucks is a grifter. Target's a grifter.
Because now everyone out there is so desperate for for social media follows, like as in like normal people that aren't content creators. Like I'll be dead honest. Like if I didn't create content, I would be on no social media platform. Correct. I would use absolutely none of them. I hate them.
Yes.
But the thing is, I think most people out there don't hate them, and most people out there equate success and popularity with the number that's beside your username. So these people think people grift just for social credit, and it couldn't be any further from the truth. I think in most cases, I mean, I like people following me because it means I can get our content out to more people. Do I really? Right? I don't know a lot of conspiracy theorists. Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much. I don't know an awful lot of conspiracy theorists.
Always got our back.
I
saw the love heart, by the way, mate. Appreciate that.
In real life, I don't know a lot of conspiracy theorists. So to actually do stuff like this, even if you're getting paid for it, you're taking a hit personally. So even if you're not getting paid for it, you're taking an even bigger hit. Do you know what I mean?
It's just a weird fixation. It's a weird, and it's always the first one to go to. You see other channels who are doing this and selling merch and doing things like, that guy's a grifter. Well, I mean, so are you. So are
everyone on
YouTube.
YouTube.
So everybody
everyone
here.
Yeah.
Are you doing it for then? What are we doing? Do you mean grifters and con man is in perpetrating a lie for profit and gain and continuing with it? There are those people. Most of them are politicians.
Yeah, Paige just pointed out on the 16th of December, Ashton and Greer are doing an X Space together.
Awesome.
I'd love to get Greer on. I just feel like he's not going to talk to us because, you know, the queer.
The fact that we said we weren't going to use the Homer thing.
We immediately
we've already used
that is love. That is love for the man.
The thing is, we really do.
I have never said a bad word about him. I defend
No,
him.
I'm not joking. Like it genuinely is. I think it'd be a fascinating conversation.
I just
Ollie-
think his head looks great on Homer Simpson.
That comment you just said, I've never seen a bad thing about him. That whole comment rests against anybody not going backward through our podcasts.
Yeah, it's
Oh no, mate, there
We're
might
doomed
be
on
like
that one.
one or two things, you know.
doomed on that one.
No,
Thing
but
is, I'd like.
I've never been. The thing is, I've never been poisonous, and that's what some people are doing with Ashton. It's all right to say I don't. I think the guy's being fooled or by a fake or
I
whatever.
don't.
But
Is fooled the right word? I don't see. That's the thing. I don't think fooled's the right word. Like, because that does that mean if you take your car into the garage, yeah. If you take your car and see a mechanic, and he originally thinks the cam belt's gone, but then under closer inspection, you need new spark plugs. Like, it doesn't mean the cam belt fooled him. It means under closer investigation, it was actually the spark plugs. Because I think that's thrown around a lot as well. The fooled thing.
can we
I didn't
talk
get that
about the
analogy.
Can we get the elephant out there straight away? Because
Sexually?
I mean, so Ashton puts the thing out on Twitter to says I can no longer kind of support this. The evidence is too damning.
Yeah,
And
I was hoping
now,
he would be on for this because the timeline now, the timeline from him go like you said when he put a post up on X saying how he went to bed and woke up, he doesn't really know what's going on, and now everyone's saying that everything's debunked. The timeline in those 24 hours is fucking wild. Like,
it's a hell of a ride, man.
Yeah. And sorry, Ollie, carry on. I just wanted to say how I think we're going to trip up trying to get through the timeline and the stuff because it's been happening so fast.
I was just going to say, because I've watched a bit of his stream. I think what they're getting at without actually saying it, because they are saying they don't, that like there's nothing to prove where these have come from. But if you're intelligent out there, you know how to work AI, and you're going to put those images and clip it all, then you put it and you upscale. You could upscale those clouds. That could be done. 100% that could be done. I do shit like that.
I have no I've no doubt that it could be done. I've no doubt that those photographs could have been altered from the original video, and that's not the thing to me. My thing with the debunks that have happened on all these videos is that everything that's happened from the like just the veracity of like passion that's come from the debunking community on this case is insane to me.
Never seen anything like it.
I've never seen anything like it. But everything. The funny thing is that every debunk has come with a caveat, and it's like so people have put those photographs have come out, and I found really early doors the first thing I noticed, and I put a tweet up early morning before I went to work. Like, there's a freeware software you can get to change metadata on photographs, videos, and things like that. So that's that those dates can be fudged, and then you find out that the photographs were the three photographs that were used for this 2 or 3. I can't remember which one it was. They were the only three to have this like upload date issue on them, I believe. There was people going in the Wayback Web machine and couldn't find them there. The person that took the photographs apparently said he couldn't remember taking the photographs. But he that wasn't him saying I don't know where they've come from. He just said I can't remember. I take a lot of photographs, I think. I believe now recently, and this is me talking about. I've probably missed some steps in between. There has been a torrent file that has been found with with these assets in, and the assets that are connected to the and this is I can't remember when the torrent file. I think the torrent file is pre 2024.
Is
Sorry,
this with
2014.
Mount Fiji in it?
Yeah, but so the torrent file had those photographs in it, but the ones related to the debunk of this video weren't in that torrent file.
Yeah, and one of the things that's interesting is the guy who found out that this Paige Bond put up a quote by him. This was that guy's quote. He said, "I'm glad to be the one that shattered Ashton's belief in orbs," because he had nothing to do with MH370 flight. It was this person was bitter because he didn't like how Ashton spoke about VFX.
Big fan of Corridor Crew, apparently.
Big fan. Yeah, big fan.
The one which got me was
Such a big fan. He's on the show.
I don't blame Corridor Crew, by the way. I just think they got given a job. They did the job.
Yeah, you should definitely cover it for yourself now, Ollie. That's smart.
Yeah.
No, I'm honestly, I don't see them as the enemy though in any of this. I think the enemy goes a little bit deeper.
Yeah, but I think the Danny Jones podcast, the what you call it? What's his name? I've even forgot his name. The other guy, Joe Rogan.
He's not worth knowing.
Yeah, I genuinely can't remember. I know someone was upset the other week.
Dorian, is it Dorian?
Nah, yeah, it was. But honestly,
Dorian Gray.
Yeah, shouldn't even wade into with their names.
And Corridor Crew, I believe, were part of the same thing. Whether they orchestrated between themselves, or whether there was somebody else that was out there doing this, that was asking them to do things. I don't know, but they absolutely coordinated themselves around that. Yeah, it was it's really weird. There was another thing I wanted to bring up about it as well.
An anonymous email to Jonas instead of this person taking the credit for that bounty and the money. They could have got something out of it, and they didn't take anything. They just wanted to burn someone. That's weird. Not that weird, because there's a lot of hate and there's a lot of mental instability and conspiracy. I mean, look at us. We are not shining examples of mental health. But yeah, there's a couple ways that you can look at it. One, it was an amazing fake that was put together, and all of that, everyone would just kind of fell into it because it was so very good. It was so good. It fooled Kitten.com, self-made. How much is that guy worth? Who has all the technical background to understand tech stuff that I don't. Countless other people. The only people who came out against Mick West comes out against literally everything. Absolutely everything. Even things that are real. Corridor Crew debunked. Navy videos. So the way the Danny Jones podcast and the way the Dorian one handled their interviews with him is a got you thing. And then you can watch as Danny Jones had on here recently, Chris Bledsoe, who's putting out some fantastic stories. And I would love to have the guy on, but never once did he question any part of it.
No.
Any part of it. Not one. And obviously go listen to that so you can see what I'm talking about. It is a worthwhile interview to listen to. Anything with Chris Bledsoe is a worthwhile one to listen to.
Oh, wasn't it like, I think the show before Ashton was like Pyramid Power Stations or something like that.
Correct. Yes. So
again, obviously, all stuff I like to talk about. Don't get me wrong, but obviously, this is what we're here for.
But we're not coming after one guest randomly with a gotcha that we had previously set up and then organized with another YouTube channel / podcast to coordinate this release effort together, and then troll that particular person personally online and question their mental health and stability, trying to ruin their life, which both of those podcasts absolutely did to one person for no apparent reason. It's unbelievable. It's abhorrent.
I think that the other thing which I really can't reconcile is the guy that got told to go and look for the photographs, that brought the photographs forward, who I thought was a lady for a while, but it's not. I don't think. That person, them, they wouldn't take the 10 grand because there was a affidavit that was set. Essentially, sorry, Ashton just happened across the video initially by chance. Yeah, the more he dug, the more he found. Debunkers are acting like he made the video. Yeah, do you know what? In fact, there's a very similar thing here. I mean, not similar in result or scope, but in a with Alex Jones just being brought back on X today. It's, you know, you look how the people went after Alex Jones after the old hook thing happened. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it was like as Jones has said himself, he gets people that come up to him thinking that he did it.
Yes, that's what I said earlier. Yeah, that's the same. It's the same thing. And the thing is, if this video was made by someone, and we're led to believe that it is, depending on what you go with.
Okay, why would you sign something from a random dude on the internet? It wasn't a random dude on the internet. It was Kim.com, who is is he a billionaire or a millionaire?
I think he's a billionaire, and he's asking him to sign a legal document that's clearly stated. So it isn't a random document by a random person. That's pretty standard if you're going to get a payout for anything that you didn't. Like if you go and win a large cash sum at a casino, part of the paperwork you're filling out when you get your cash out is that you didn't cheat in any way. Right? You're signing an affidavit saying that. So if they can come back on it, there's, and especially at least in the U.S., when you sign an affidavit to something, if you lie on that, you can be criminally charged. That's why.
But 10 grand's a lot of money. I mean,
oh yeah, man, I ain't turning down 10 grand. That's a Barrett. Give me a new rifle.
Well, I mean, the guy that had the photograph said that he didn't want to do it because of all the work other people have put in. Maybe there was some way of dispersing that money amongst the community that were, and he didn't feel comfortably him or her didn't feel comfortable taking the money. That still doesn't make me. That still doesn't explain why he wouldn't just, or they wouldn't just sign the thing, just say, yeah, because realistically, that's all they wanted. All the affidavit was saying, is your story true? It wasn't like, you're not like guaranteeing the validity of these, but up until you getting that message to go and look for the photographs, is that your story checks out. That's all it was. You were told to look for them. You looked for them. You found them. You put a video out, a 20-minute video of debunking it in like 2 hours after you found the videos, which also seemed fucking weird. It's just strange.
Yeah, man. That's so. Like I said, you know, the one aspect is that it's absolutely fake, right? Like that's where we're at. It's fake. You either believe that or you believe that there's something suspicious going on with it, and the suspicious leads pretty good just to the timeline, the cause of events, the coordinated efforts. Doesn't mean it's not fake. Doesn't mean it's not real. Doesn't mean there's not something suspicious to it. Like, look what Ashton got us. The one thing he got us is we found out Lockheed Martin launched satellites that the Department of Defense is recording all sky traffic in real time. We know that now. A lot of people know that now. We got to hear from Salvador Payas talking about patents that he's done with the Navy and Space Force and DARPA and the DOD and all these other people about next generation technology, and that you got these brilliant minds who believe that these things already exist and are out there. That got a wide base of people. This got a wide base of people interested. If anything, we should be thankful that Ashton did that. We shouldn't be attacking him personally like everyone seems to be. It's just that hate. I mean, it's the same people that hate people that relish and they're like, oh, it's his defeat. It's not personal, man. He found a video, he dug into it, he found cool things, he put together a line. And what did it take? It took the mobilization of $150,000 reward put together to try and find, you know what I mean, by Kim.com. It was a global effort to try and find whether this was real or not, or if some aspect of it could be disproven or proven, right? And through this, there's been some damn peculiar things. And if you've been paying attention to how people behave on some of these big channels and people who are related to the community and are trusted, you should really be questioning those people. You should be questioning their allegiances.
He's a good one because I found this wild because this goes, you can literally take the whole conspiracy out of the bag here. Because Joe K said, You think they store footage from every inch of the globe? Where would they store all that data? First of all, fucking data centers are massive, man.
Yeah.
I've been in some data centers. I know people that work in data centers, and you can store an awful lot of stuff. You know, when you consider when you consider you've got thumb drives, which are like terabytes
Right.
now.
But
how
here's
long
the,
have they had quantum
well,
computers for?
but
You
this is
know,
but this is the thing. Just quickly, we know that data is stored because as part of the debunking of the research that went into these videos, somebody went back on like the NASA website onto satellite data and found the cloud formations from that time and day in that
from
area.
that area.
So you can go to your house, your address, look at NASA satellites and see what the weather was like 10 years ago. Now, that's fucking insane. I had no idea that was a thing you could do.
Yeah.
No
And-
fucking idea whatsoever.
Yeah, and that was it. The Severus is the name of the satellites? I believe Severus or
I have
Severus.
think so,
no
I forget the
idea.
name. The Lockheed Martin. You can go check out Ashton's videos he did talking about that particular thing. That's real. They launched that. That is in orbit. It scans all the skies in real time and logs it. So do I think that they're yes, man. Obviously. They are indeed doing that. Why? I don't know.
Yep.
Because they can, I guess. Because, you know, Big Brother wants to be authoritarian and totally controlling. Sure. And just for the record, should anyone ever want us to not talk about things like this, we're available for sale.
Yeah, but see,
We're
the
not
other thing-
expensive. We're not expensive.
The other thing is with the store and stuff. Don't forget, every time you use your Alexa or smart device, that audio is saved. When you talk like that.
Every
saved
text
somewhere.
message you've ever sent.
Yeah, is somewhere.
Every
I was
email.
like, I remember the first time I was freaked out by this was because you can go and check on I don't know how you do it now. I did it years ago with Google and I deleted a lot of stuff. But it was mostly just like my thing. The only thing I really use like my phone for when I speak to it is to set alarms, because it's much easier to ask your phone to set an alarm for you than it is to fumble through settings to do it yourself. And I went on to the the website google.com, and I looked at all the stuff that was there, and it just had like rows and rows and rows of audio clips of me saying, we wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, or I need to wake me up at 6, please. And it was just loads of voice notes, and all those are saved. Like none of your data is safe. So I if you can save individual people's worth of data, I don't know why you don't understand that you can save like satellite imagery.
Yeah, that's pretty well covered. And for everyone watching, please like, share, and subscribe as our moderator continues to put that out. That is important to us because we got a lot of people in the room. Yeah, man, this is Moody's on point with this one.
Someone pick it up.
Yeah. So it says, I would say the main locations of the internet are secret, but when you move thousands of gig of data, you get an idea where it funnels through. This is correct, but it is classified info, sort of. He's right.
Yeah.
That's well said, Moody. Thank you for that. Yeah, man. As far as someone had asked earlier, it's like they're not trying to be rude. He said, "Do we think that the videos are fake or real?" Here it is. Found it. It says, "So I'm kind of confused. So the videos were fake or not? I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just on here. So is Ashton wrong?" Man, I'm not qualified to answer that question, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm genuinely not. When it comes to all that kind of stuff, I can go with what I think is right and wrong. It
feels like there's something up.
It definitely feels sketchy.
Something off. Something
Everything.
stinks.
Now, here's the real thing. Say it does stink. Let's run, because we're conspiracy theorists, right? We like a good conspiracy.
100.
If this is a massive conspiracy to do this and has done this, and they've gone through this effort, I think it might be the smartest move just to walk away.
I think you're probably right. If this is the effort, the other interesting thing would be here is that if if those files, I mean, I don't know how many. Was it Jonas? Was that the guy's name who leaked the photographs?
Yeah.
So they were his photographs that he was instructed to go and look for. Am I right?
What time, day, like relative files, like what?
Yeah,
what
he was
he
he was given a place to go and look for them. So that to me says that you should be able to now find the hoaxer, because essentially, unless the hoaxer happened to get them off a torrent rather than buy them through the website, which he couldn't, he at least couldn't have got them from a torrent that Ashton found, because they were, oh, sorry, I shouldn't say Ashton found. I don't think Ashton found it. I think one of the people that's on Reddit that's working with Ashton to do research found them. He didn't get them from that torrent because they weren't in it, and I think that torrent dated to before the crash or the disappearance or the whatever it was. So you should be able to, if they were bought off that website. I mean, how many people bought those random pictures of clouds out of what, 2 billion pictures of clouds? How many people saw those clouds and went, those are the ones, those are the clouds I want?
Right.
So either what, 10, 20, 30 people, maybe 5. So one of those 5 people, 20 people, 30 people, they fake that video if it's fake. So right now those photographs are out. That's narrowed your search down to try and find the original hoaxer.
Yeah, I think this is interesting. So first time here, I got a question. Why make 2 videos of the exact same scene? Why make them not? I think that's an excellent question. That's one of many excellent questions for a bizarre situation in a bizarre video. There's, to me, it looks like the orb punches through a cloud.
Yeah, there's a bit of me wonders whether that has been the real right. Let's go into conspiracy land here, and we will just for 5 minutes say that this is real, right? I don't know if it's real. I've always edged more on the side of it being real than fake, definitely. I think if you're 100%, I'm pretty sure even before these photographs came out, if you'd have said to Ashton, what percentage of you thinks these are real, he'd have probably said what, 95%. Because if you don't have a small piece of doubt, then there's a real problem. You should always doubt pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes I doubt that all of you are even real.
I doubt whether I'm real.
So I have an inner voice, so I'm real.
That's good. I'm glad. Maybe we're not. Maybe that means we're being driven by somebody else.
The question is, how many inner voices do you have? The more you have, the more real you are.
Because I'm pretty real.
Wow.
No, sorry. Do you know what? I've completely lost what I was going to say. Completely lost it.
I do that all the time.
You
were saying how you think you virgin on them being real.
No, it's going to I had something to say. That's what I was saying. If we were just going to, say for a second they were real.
You were saying that he had 95% that he would have been sure, because you always have to have doubt. Because if you don't have doubt, then that would be crazy.
Yeah, there was something else, but it's gone. It's gone.
That's how that goes. Yeah, man. It's like, I think he's a good dude. I think it's ridiculous people are attacking him. I think he's trying to do the right thing, and I think the bizarreness surrounding this and the bizarreness of circumstances is just a motivating factor to him as well. But again, if this is a conspiracy and these are the steps that have been taken by the conspirators,
yeah,
I think it's smart to walk away.
Just quickly, like
Yes.
I want to pull something else up as well, and I don't know if this is the reason why Ashton was blocking people. I think I think he could have had a myriad of reasons for doing it, but I unfortunately on Friday got or was it Friday? Was it Monday? Was it Monday all this went down? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
I
after.
think so.
Yeah. Oh no, yes, no, sorry, no, it wouldn't have been. It's Monday tomorrow.
Friday. Well,
So
Friday.
yeah, Friday. I got myself wrapped up in a couple of tweets that were heavily commented on like over the course of this. Now, every time I put my phone down, and I mean like for 3 seconds, I pick my phone up and there'd be like 50 notifications, and then I'd scroll through the notifications, put it back down, I'd pick it up, and there was another 60, and then I'd put it back down again. I'd leave it for an hour, I'd come back, and there was like 400. Like, I had something ridiculous over the course of the afternoon, like 2,500 notifications on this. Now, it wasn't direct messages to me; it was just stuff I was involved in. Now, you times that by a guy which went from having like 7,000 followers on X to over 60,000 followers. And that's also a guy that sat in front of a computer trying to do some work. So yeah, of course, if you've got that level of noise coming out at you, I'm going to block the people I think are horrible as well. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't. You know, someone put a quote on here. I should pull it up because it's justified in pulling it up. I agree with this. He doesn't suffer fools gladly, as Ashton. Yeah, I'm with him on that, man. I can have a conversation, but like most of Twitter/X, you get like these anonymous accounts that are just created just so people can be extra douchey.
I had so many fucking
yeah.
one-day-old accounts on Friday because of this. Like,
It was crazy.
Yeah, it's there's something to that. That is an operation. That's not just a load of people accidentally making new accounts just to troll on something. That's too much. I think, do we call it the 57th Brigade in the UK, something like that? We have
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we have a military brigade which does sort of essentially cyber manipulation. Bill Cooper would always say, believe nothing you hear and half of everything you see. Yeah. Still, Stargazer said something here, and I don't know if this is true as well, but apparently Jonas is also just happens to be friends with the owners of the website.
Yeah. Well, he's been friends with them, he said, for like 15 years. They've known each other, and apparently the Jonas guy's well known in that world. So that's not
okay.
That
makes sense.
Yeah, you just texted a friend. Like that makes sense. Like I don't think that's that bizarre. I think an anonymous email telling them what to look for and when to look for it is really strange. And that guy's story had changed multiple times too. I think he's like following and kind of in love with Mick West.
Is anybody like mentioning that the fact that how hard it would be to find fucking clouds that match? Clouds are two colors. You've got two colors there. You've got blue, the sea, and you've got white, the clouds. That's like looking for a fucking need. Do you know if I go on Google, type in clouds, do you know how many fucking clouds I get?
I mean, it's a crazy person's task.
How the fuck are they gonna find these clouds?
I mean, maybe the guy's like a 4chan native. You know, that weaponized autism is a hell of a thing.
That's what I don't get. Even if I took those clouds, yeah, I've taken pictures from airplanes. I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat that's been in an airplane might have held the cell phones to the window and taken a picture at some point. But do you even remember what you took a picture of?
No. And the thing is, you also take multiple pictures of things, especially if you're trying to take photographs professionally. You will take hundreds of pictures of the one thing. Now, anyone that hasn't downloaded, and I realize this is going to feed into Skynet, which is going to kill us, but ChatGPT's phone app is absolutely great. So I just did a quick ChatGPT thing here saying how many pictures of clouds are on the internet. ChatGPT replied with saying that's really challenging to determine the exact number, but there are likely billions of cloud pictures.
So out of billions of cloud and they said cloud, billions of cloud pictures.
Yeah. There's a bit of reasoning behind it though, because like if you're a VFX person, you're gonna have a certain level of skill to be able. Let's say again that it is in fact faked and was made. There's a certain amount of skill required. They're going to pull their product to make something like that from certain places. This other person, that was also part of their explanation. Like, you know, I started going to places like I would go to, and then textures was one. and that's where they found it.
See, the rotary motions put up here saying the clouds were edited on the website for 4th December,
Saw that.
a few days back, and then outed the next day by an account 6 days old. And there was also this alphanumeric code. I like that
That's the
alphanumeric
user.
code. Yeah, that's been thrown around, but apparently that also is like someone's been saying that it's important. I don't understand. I don't. But again, lots of this stuff now you see is there's a lot of like when stuff gets gets researched this deeply, it starts to get quite big brainy, and a lot of it is out of my fucking pay grade, I'm afraid.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of. That's the other thing is I've taken that. I find it interesting that people get so emotionally attached and involved. Like they're like, "Oh, what are they going to think now that you're wrong? How are we wrong? We're commenting on something. We're going along with it. Did we? If it is fake, did we get fooled? Yeah. Okay, I'll take that. Sure, I get fooled at magic shows all the time. Do you not?
Yeah.
You know. Let's be real about it for a second. I don't understand those that hate have such an emotional involvement for hate. Instead of just taking it like everything else. We talk about cryptids, conspiracies, little green men that live under the planet and, eat flesh. You're like, oh, come on. We talk crazy shit, man. This shouldn't be that much of a break for you.
The issue that people have, Dave, and I'll address it, is people are so pissed off with this. Well, this is what they say, but I don't think that, but they're here anyway watching the fucking show.
Hang on a second. I feel this has to be a ceremony because I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna fucking fix this for you. I'm gonna fix all of your issues. I fixed it.
You fixed it. The issue I have with this is when they come at you and they go, "Oh, how disrespectful," because you're talking about MH370. That's like saying that every conspiracy theorist, and probably most of you in the chat, if you watch a channel like this, have questioned something that happened quite a few years back, where two things went down. You've questioned it, and you've questioned some of the footage.
Someone in the chat actually just requested to be removed, and our moderator removed him. They're like, "Bam, me too, you liars!" A click. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing.
No man has been shown more patience than Reckless Ryan. No man.
Yeah, he's had a lot of patience.
In the history of the world, no man has seen such patience.
Well,
I said to him early in the day, I said, what are you here for? What's the point? You do something different with you,
do something you enjoy.
If I'm watching a show and I don't like them, I turn it off.
Exactly. Or you know what?
That's why I watch nobody.
Yeah. Or throw back an extra edible. Wait till it kicks in and then go back to the show. You'll enjoy it a hell of a lot more. Enjoy your life. Yeah. Yeah.
Or Reckless Ryan, come back with a different name and be nicer. There you go.
It's like I said, and that proves my point is why are people who aren't helping search for anything? They're not participating in any way. They don't have a voice. They're not trying to, question anyone. They're not trying to get to the bottoms. They're just sitting casually on the outside watching and cheering, and if not trying to add to the misery of others, trying to create misery for others when others are just trying to investigate or like ask questions. It's weird, man.
Well, you see, this is my problem with people having the issue of them trying to debunk the photographs, is because why can't like conspiracy theorists have the same like thoughts over the debunk than the debunkers have against the evidence? Like surely that's the best way to. If you're going to debunk something, if you say, let's say you're Mick West, right? Just for a split second, I know it's not nice, but just think you're Mick West, just for a split second. You can be you again.
He's got 3 million in the bank. I'll be Mick West.
Yeah, you can be yourself again in a minute. If you put your debunk forward and like a team of people go, we're going to challenge you on that. We're gonna analyze it and we're gonna come back to you. And you're confident in your debunk. You'd be going, okie dokie, I'll be here when you've rebunked your conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
but it's not. They double down and then they start calling the people that are trying to essentially check their homework. They start calling them stupid, and that's what gets me.
Yeah, I think this is an important one. I like B. Baker. It's been a while since I've seen
I
him.
like B. Baker.
Yeah. So Ashton is the one making wild claims that he hasn't proven at all. We don't know where the video came from. That's correct. We don't know where the video came from. We aren't obligated to disprove him. He is obligated to provide convincing evidence. I don't think he's obligated to do anything. He didn't create the video.
No.
He didn't make it. He didn't do it. He's just asking questions. I think that's where something's getting lost. He's just asking questions. And I think that's a good thing. I have nothing wrong with that. And we've talked to him behind the show, and he said multiple times, man, if it's fake, it's fake. It is what it is. He said that on the show. He said that on multiple shows. If it gets proven, the thing is, the strange circumstances these clouds were found, and maybe it is 100%. This guy weaponized his autism or whatever it is. He found the cloud picture. They match up. Kim.com believes it. The other people that were backing him believe it. So it as far as those people are there, it's done. It's gone. I'm going to trust the technical expertise of those people because I don't have it. Do I trust Mick West? Absolutely not. Never trust anyone that bitter. And it's like he hasn't provided convincing evidence and has been debunked by multiple experts. No experts that I know of. We're not going to call the corridor crew experts.
Absolutely,
that's
it's another
ridiculous.
YouTube channel. Yeah,
they're a YouTube channel. Look up their IDBMs. They didn't work for Lucas. They didn't make Star Wars. They didn't do Marvel anything.
This goes back to this horrible thing we have where it's the blue check mark thing again, isn't it? You know, it's people listen to people more if they've got a blue check mark. People listen to people more if they've got more followers. You know, it's like it's like you think he's an expert because he's got 60,000 followers.
Yeah.
Or 600,000 followers, whatever they've got. Sorry.
Yeah, people have made interesting comparisons, like the I love the butthole thing, by the way. The Mick West's flash that it was from a video game, and lots of other people with the same thing. They're like, oh, Kim.com was hey, that doesn't add up. That doesn't make sense. It should be an exact, not kind of like it. The VFX crew talking about how simple it is, yet they didn't recreate it or make it. No one has, by the way. No one has done that. Yes, thank you. What has happened is we found some videos that looks like it was rendered to use part of the video. And when I say we, I mean these other people have found it. We didn't find it. We're running douchebag commentary. That's kind of what we are.
Commenters.
Yeah. We're a lot more fun if you're inebriated or
I also find it interesting that I get the idea of maybe wanting to be anonymous because I do feel for the person that came forward with the photographs now, because I know they're getting like people are going after them, and that's not right.
That's the same thing like they're doing to Ashton, man. Like,
yeah,
leave the poor bastard alone. He just answered an email.
Yeah, I don't get it. But what I'm confused by is that why the person that told him to go and find the photographs, why couldn't he have just quietly gone to Kim.com on his own?
Yes. Yeah, he could have. And I agree with Paige on this one. I think that's been underlooked. But the thing is, like, when it comes to, it's funny, I know an attorney who deals with semiconductor patents, and I've actually talked to him about this. He's like, you wouldn't find out any information about that.
Just for
that's going to go nowhere.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, Paige has pointed out, what was it, David?
Oh, I blew it out. She said, I think the semiconductor patent holders aboard the plane have been under investigated. I would agree. And that's why I talked to a patent attorney who deals specifically with semiconductors and high technology, a guy who both of you have met, actually.
Mhm.
We spent a substantial amount of time at his house. And he informed me that would never happen. Like, you're not going to find out anything about him. That would be futile. The companies protect the people who develop that stuff just as much as they protect the actual technology itself.
What did you think of the footage?
We were talking about that today earlier, actually. Yeah, I don't think he wants his thoughts put out here. I like this one. Instead of making a creation, they search the cloud pattern. I thought that was weird too. But they're looking for raw data to prove that it was fake. Okay, I mean, I could see it. Hard work.
He spelled it wrong.
I think he spelled it perfectly. I don't know about that, man. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
I think that's a skewed perspective with emotional investment against his argument.
Look, man, we've had jerks on this show before, and
yeah, he's not one of them.
He's not one of them. Like he has been nothing but fun when he's come on. He is passionate.
Stay for about an hour after the shows, just having a chat with us.
He's a really nice guy. Yeah,
passionate about what he does, and he is, in general, especially towards us, which is a smaller channel compared to some of the other people that were giving him that were giving him time, has shown us nothing but kindness, essentially.
You guys don't think the Corridor Crew are qualified experts?
No, not really.
No,
I think they've got a big
YouTube
channel. Yeah, in the same way, I don't think Linus Tech Tips is necessarily an electronics expert.
Here's another thing. We're not qualified experts either. We're three jerk-offs doing a podcast on YouTube about mysteries and things that we find interesting, and we get lucky enough to talk to really cool people like Ashton and others. There you go. You got this. Corridor Crew work for well over a decade. They've been in the industry. They are qualified experts in this matter. They've been YouTubers.
Linus Tech Tips has been in the industry for years, and only a few months ago he was ripped apart for a load of work he put out. Which not only you guys, I'm doing right. I quite like Linus Tech Tips. Watch it all the time. But I'm just saying he was ripped apart because some of the stuff he was saying in one of his videos could have actually damaged PCs.
I like the Corridor Crew since that thing I've watched.
Me too.
I think they're funny. They're funny. They got a vibe. They got the it factor. I've also looked up their IDBMs to see what movies and things that they've made. They've made some short clips, but they're not running Lucas.
I believe they made that Boston Dynamic one where they're pushing the robot with a stick. Do you remember that?
Which was great. Well aware. It was hilarious. Yeah. Like that's great.
I would say it was bullying. Robot.
Yeah, the bully and the robot. That was hilarious. When I actually found that out, that was then when I was looking up their stuff. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. No, man. They're like, what qualifies as an expert? People who have been running a YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel. They're the stars of the YouTube channel. I mean, I'm sure that at this point,
but I think the thing as well is that if you go right, we've got really good technology now. So if I was to drive down the road in my car and you were to film it, and then you were to give it to the Corridor Crew and say, in Unreal 5, make me a clip of this guy driving down the road. I want it in exactly the same place. And I want the sun in the same place. I want ray trace reflections on it. I want the all those nice multiple colored coats you get on paint sometimes. Yeah. They could do that and they could make it look like really realistic. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That doesn't debunk my car driving down the road. That just means they made something that looks like my car driving down the road.
I think this is good. And I get that you're fully invested in this, Joe K. All right. I get it. You're backing them. You're for them. We got a few people are. Cool. Every one of them could go work for Lucas. Maybe they could. Maybe they couldn't. I don't know. We don't know, because you're right. They took their own path, a path that doesn't have them doing the VFX for $100 million movies, $200, $300 million movies. That's not what they do. They have a YouTube channel. Do they have an understanding of it? Sure. And if that's if their explanation is enough for you, that's all that matters, man. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to sell you on my opinion. I don't know why you're trying to sell me on your opinion of them.
No, just got a message from Ashton, and he apologizes. He just said, he said, I'm really sorry about this. He said, I fell asleep. I missed the beginning of the show, and he's got to do. I think he's. Is there a show called Investigate Earth? I think.
I guess.
So yeah, the
As long as he's not been taken out.
yeah,
As
no,
long as he's still alive, yeah. No worries, Ashton. Wait, it ain't no big deal, man. B. Baker, which I always give attention to because I like B. Baker. It's a religion for people who believe the video is real at this point. I agree with that. It's also original for people who have always believed that it wasn't. They just can't listen to facts anymore, and they're all about faith. It's that cuts both ways, man. They want something that takes them away from their humdrum lives that they. Yeah, I get that you're saying that they live. That's anyone on that last part, man. That's everybody in the world. Does anyone watch sports or TV shows? Do you have a hobby? That's literally what everything is. So that's not a disqualifier or a qualifier. That's everybody has something where they can escape for a few minutes and do something that's them, or find something whimsical, like whether it's reading a book, writing a book, doing pottery, blacksmithing, whatever, baking. Yeah, that's everything. But I like the religion part. I agree with that. People who believe in it, who are like, this is it, and it's got to be, you're right. And just like all the ones, it's absolutely fake. Everything is fake. It's all fake. Mick West is the Lord. Yeah. Corridor Crew's the greatest VFX experts that have ever existed. It's faith. They're faith preaching on both sides, man. You got to find that middle ground. I mean, when I say you, I don't mean you specifically. I mean, the greater.
Have you heard the people saying like that he owes Mick West an apology?
He doesn't know Mick West shit.
Mick West said that a fucking fighter pilot was trying to target a bird.
Yeah, get out of here.
Mick West owes the fighter pilot an apology.
you want
a hand job. Yeah.
You want to talk about someone that wasn't listening to a fucking expert? You want to...
No, but this is it. I guarantee the same people that will have Mick West back with this have not had his back with some of the stuff in the past.
Yeah,
dude. So he says.
Jump down with this.
Oh, yeah, hold on. So B. Baker says Ashton is a complete jerk in tweets. He can't debate. He just blocks and goes from the argument from there. We've actually talked to him. We actually know the guy. He's not a complete jerk.
What a time!
What's going on?
And I actually like that he deletes, because it's not that he's having an argument. It's that I'll let the man speak for himself.
Yeah, I mean, show me the tweets, man. You know how often I hear this kind of stuff where people are like, I was just asking questions. And like nobody ever posts it. Like, let's be honest, guys. You aren't just asking questions. You're being douchebags. You are being condescending. You're in my post saying, just let it go. Just let it go. Why are you doing this? You know, like, of course you're going to get blocked, man. Like, if you don't want to be part of it, you don't want to be involved, then, don't do any of that stuff. It doesn't bother me at all that you don't have some kind of right to be in my replies. You can be like all these other people that block me, that talk smack about me so that I can't see their content or whatever, right? Like, go for it.
Yeah, it's.
By the way, how are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Probably under slightly less stress than you.
Yeah, it's been a day. I can only hang around for a few minutes. I'm supposed to jump on with Investigate Earth, but I wanted to, just come say hi to you guys and maybe do a very quick update in terms of what's been going on, because I think it's it's been a lot of stuff happening. So
we tried to sort of do a ham-fisted way of smashing through like where we thought we were in the sort of timeline of things, but things have moved so quickly since that morning.
Can't keep up with it.
Yeah. So this, cloud debunk, I'm going to call it, came out, which is that somebody who is an anonymous Redditor had this 6-day-old account, claims that they found some clouds on some website. I don't know if they're the Rain Man or what it took for them to somehow see these clouds and pick it out. And then they, I guess, contacted Jonas, who's the person who took the pictures back in 2012, I believe it was, and had him make a video doing like a debunk of the images. And this essentially took everybody by storm. People started retweeting it. I think we were looking last night at it. It has almost 1 million views. I talked to Jonas, and there was a little bit of stuff that was a little weird about the interactions with him, like how he knows the Corridor Crew. He's a visual effects artist. He's got like all the documentation to show me that he was like there on that day, etc., on this airplane, and that he went into the country and all that. But I don't know. I don't want to put the guy down because I get like an honest vibe from him, honestly, just from my own impression. But this whole thing coming up just seems really, really unusual given the huge amounts of traction we've been getting. And given the fact that, we just this last week proved that the clouds are moving, that the clouds are being distorted by the orbs, which rules out this idea that there could be a 2D like background in this, right? And when I asked him and talked to him about it, he had a very weird way of referring to the case. Like he didn't know anything about the case, supposedly, but he's talking about it like it might be a hoax and like how it's damaging the families, doing that same fake compassion stuff that's out there. And that's when I started getting pretty suspicious in general of what was going on here. But the thing that kind of threw me through a loop was when I talked to him with Kim.com, he was offered a $10,000 bounty just to sign a statement saying he wasn't lying about anything like that. Right. And I could tell right away that he like that kind of threw him off when he was asked that in the meeting with us. And he mentioned something that gave me a clue, which was he said that, well, pirates used to torrent or steal all these images years ago or whatever, and that they have torrents of them and what have you. Maybe the hoaxer found it that way as opposed to the website. Because we were like, well, give us the records of everybody who downloaded this in a 72-day period, right? It can't be that many people. This is like a small website, right? Especially cgtextures.com. So that's when I realized, well, if this is somehow hoaxed, then those old torrents out there are either not going to have the images or they are going to have the images, but they're going to be modified, right? Like maybe somebody used AI to modify the images to superimpose these clouds over them so that this elaborate ruse could, gain traction. And so last night we've had all our people looking into it. No one can find these images on the Wayback Machine predating the videos. And we looked up at least, I believe, 2 different torrents that we found out there for CG textures, and neither of them have the pictures in them. So I don't know exactly what's going on here, but it's pretty damn weird. I've had a lot of people in my DMs saying this doesn't seem right. People analyzing the pictures. One person did a very detailed analysis whose background is looking at stuff like this and say that the angle of the pictures does not match from pictures that were taken like within a minute at the same time. That the sun and the shade of the sun on Mount Fuji in the background is not the same and consistent with the morning sun as well from when the time of the picture shows. So this is enough doubt in my mind that I don't know exactly what's going on here, but it's scary because if someone were to go to this level of effort to try to discredit the case, to just try to discredit me, then it means that they're extremely afraid that there is something really, really big to hide in general. So the only way I can go forward then is say that we have to just proceed because of the weight of the evidence, because of what we've been able to prove. We've been able to prove that the U.S. government knows what's going on with this plane. They had spy satellites in the area staring at it. You can't have a debris field or not have a debris field for a 777 crash into the ocean. And this just means that, we have to keep moving forward with this case until we get an answer. And what I would say now is that because people are so confident that they think they've found these assets, there is no excuse now to not find this supposed hoaxer at all. Like they should be able to narrow it down. And there's no excuse for the government, U.S. government, to come out and say that, that these are fake. The U.S. government should come out and say, nope, that's not our MQ-1C Gray Eagle. And that's not our Cyber system staring down at the plane at 1840 UTC at the Nicobar Islands, which is what's indicated by the coordinates. There's no reason for them not to be able to say that now. So if the government doesn't come out now and say that, because this has gotten so much attention on social media, then in my mind, it's suspicious. So we'll just keep pushing forward until we get that answer from the government.
Yeah, that's what I find weird about it, is the fact that, it's these photographs have come out and that's fine. It's a debunk. Everything gets debunked like every other debunk that's been thrown at this. But we're all supposed to just go, there's photographs there. Let's all go home. Like it's like that we're not allowed any scrutiny over the evidence that's been put forward, and I find that really hard to take.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking about the last day too. Is like, this it doesn't add up. The idea that nobody wants to look at the actual evidence and they want to, scrutinize they don't even want to scrutinize these pictures either, right? Like they want to spend half the level of scrutiny they want on it. And I think that's what's giving me the resolve. All of the people out there too who are trying to claim victory and all this stuff too. Like these are the people that are keeping the case alive. I just want to let them know that, if people weren't out there, claiming how they've been right, people are like asking me for apologies. Or I'm like, what were you right about? Right. Like, I don't understand what apology I deserve. I owe anybody else. Like
you need to apologize to Mick West.
Yeah. You need to
like, and so it's like, if we were right, I'm not going to be, demanding apologies from people. Like, it's a little weird. So just the whole attitude of people in general throws me off. And then the fact that how many people came out supporting in terms of like not giving up, especially when I was on with Jimmy Corsetti, and he just keeps saying in the chat, like everybody's saying this is real. Like everyone's saying this is real. And I'm like, man, yeah, this didn't really fool a lot of people, right? Like if this is some elaborate kind of fake picture situation where I would imagine the intelligence community would have to be involved in it. If it is, then it's not fooling a lot of people. And that's when I realized, you know what, if these people aren't going to give up, then I have no choice as well. I have to keep going as well. And I had a moment of doubt where I just thought, man, if this is true and they're this concerned about making sure this goes away, like this is real serious. Like, I'm actually like at risk, and it could be easier just to walk away at this point. But I just said it didn't feel right, and I've got to follow what my gut tells me in terms of being honest with myself, being honest with the case, and that's why we're moving forward.
Did you fly back in 2012 by any chance?
Yeah.
You ever taken a picture out the window?
Yeah, so that was another thing that was really unusual, because I've probably flown more than most human beings on the planet, and I've never seen a window that wasn't scratched, dirty as heck, or they have these double-sided panes of plastic, right? Like taking pictures out the window is not like just taking this clear, perfect photo. So I thought that was a little bit unusual as well, but I don't know. The guy had receipts for his flight. He had everything categorized back from 2012.
He had receipts from that long ago for his flight?
Like he was able to pull up emails and stuff from that. It was like, oh, I'm very organized, and showing me his passport with the stamps on it, like everything ready to go. Everything.
What was going to say? What pass? I don't know. I was to say, how long is his passport valid for? Depending on the country.
Yeah, it can't be the same passport. And some people argue, well, they take your old passport back. I'm not sure if that's true or not, though. I feel like I have one that's just a whole.
No, they took mine. Yeah, you're supposed to.
Yeah. All I was going to say there, Ashton, is like, if somebody's, because is that when allegedly they were taken in 2012? Those pictures.
Yeah, 2012. I believe I had the exact date, January 25th, 2012, 8:50 a.m. I guess it must be local time there.
So, yeah. I mean, human memory is not great as it is, but clouds are quite, generic. Lee did a chat BT, chat, whatever it's called, thing earlier, and I don't
know. There was billions of photos.
Yeah, and there's like these billions of pictures of clouds apparently on the internet,
and he's taken hundreds of thousands as well.
How on earth, even if you'd taken those pictures yourself and somebody had happened to take them out, how would you even know? How would you go, oh, actually, I remember that. That was my cloud out of the window.
Yeah, and he was told that, because you couldn't. In fact, this idea that this person found the cloud picture makes like no sense whatsoever. Like there's no way someone can identify a random cloud like that looking at pictures. That's just not even humanly possible.
My message is to the debunkers with that. I want the debunkers to ask themselves that question. How would you remember a fucking cloud?
And so supposedly some random anonymous person finds this picture, even though the clouds have to be manipulated in order to even like show, like, flipped around and stuff like that. It's like somehow this person finds this and then emails Jonas and says, here's the exact picture you need to go find. These are the ones. And he goes and makes a video about it. Like it just doesn't sit right with me. Doesn't make any sense in terms of how that went down. Right. And then that we find out this person's admitting that they got slighted because I dunked on their corridor crew buddies. And it's like, oh, well, I'm going to go, defend their honor. And it's like, okay, well, now it's getting even more sketchy. So, yeah.
It just seems beyond what one person could do. Here, this is a great question, but welcome to the show. He's a friendly guy. He's been on our show all the time. He's like, question, how much money have you made from this footage?
For me? Oh,
Yes.
well, I mean, I've made, I don't know, from the attention of social media, I think that a total amount of money that I've made from the Twitter is probably like less than $500 from all the, almost hundreds of millions of impressions at this point, over almost 10 million a week, I think. And then from YouTube, I actually haven't collected a single cent yet. I actually haven't even verified my account yet, but people have donated quite a lot. I don't know how much it would add up to. It might add up to like $1,500 in general.
So $2,000 is not enough to nuke your life to go through the.
No, I mean, I have a real job that pays more than that per week, but
that's my point. Like, that's a lot of effort.
No, and I
just think
I'm not doing this for financial gain. And again, I haven't even collected a cent from YouTube yet, because you have to do a bunch of verification and all this. And the people that I've been on their podcast with have made more money than I have by magnitudes. So just throwing that out there.
Hey, man, that's what we're trying to do. All right, that's what we're trying to do. Don't give away
up there. I'm trying to help you guys out.
I appreciate it. Now, do we know if the photos were recovered from Jonas's computer, or are they only available on the website? Did he have the raw footage on his computer?
He had pictures on his computer, but like for me, you need to have a third-party confirmation that's not one of these people. That he knows the website owner as well. So, in this sense, it's like if you were in a legal case, it's like, how do you not prove that this guy just added these pictures to his computer, right? In the past, just like downloaded them that day or what have you. You really can't. Like, you need to have a third-party corroboration. And that's when he told me about the thing about torrent. I was like, oh, well, we should be able to find the torrent then that dates back somewhere else that's out there on one of these pirate locations, and we should be able to find the pictures. And that's why after having looked through 2 of them, we still haven't found it. I'm getting like really, really suspicious at this point. And that's why I made my post today, after having people who are doing detailed forensic analysis on the photos as well. And then people are basically saying that, okay, you could strip the picture, the videos using AI, pull out the clouds you want, impose them over other pictures, and then re-upload the pictures. And turns out these pictures actually were all updated on December 4th as well. Why are 11-year-old pictures being updated in their database 4 days ago? Like, that's just also really odd. But the reality is it would take a lot of resources to pull off this if this was something that was faked in terms of these pictures. And yeah, we just have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, so this guy used to come on the show, or being things. Can I blame Jonas for not talking about not wanting to sign the thing or get involved anymore? Dude, I don't. He's gotten a lot of, like Ashton's already said. You've talked to him. You said he's a nice guy. He seems legitimate. And he has gotten crazy hate online. I don't blame him at all. Like, as much as we ourselves choose to be in the conspiracy realm and deal with unwell people sometimes and a bit stockish, but that's fine. We chose to be there. This guy didn't. Or at least we believe he didn't.
No, right? I mean, to me, it seems like he chose to be in it. So if you go out and you make a video, saying, I'm going to debunk this, after you get a random email from somebody on the internet, not just make a video, but like within a couple hours decide that you're going to make a video of it, right? Then you're involving yourself. That's the reality of the situation. If he doesn't want to be involved, the very first thing you should do is delete that video, because that tells you, hey, I screwed up. I don't want to be in this. Somebody else go debunk these pictures. I'm just going to give you the pictures. Like, he didn't have to do any of that stuff. All he had to do was post those pictures online. And when I actually asked him about that, like, why are you making a video? I mean, you need to be cautious. He's like, oh, are you threatening me? Like, dude, what? Why? What is this thing with people threaten? Like, that's a really weird response. Like, why are you making a debunk video over something that you have no background on whatsoever? So the reality of this,
skin in the game either.
Yeah, exactly. If you have no skin in the game, like if that's me and somebody emails me like that, I'm just sending them the pictures. I'm gonna be like, I don't want to be involved in this. Here are the pictures that I took. Enjoy. I'm not making a video going, here we go, I can match all the clouds together. Like, dude, what? That's not your place at all, man.
The conspiracy theorist in me it finds it interesting, right? The conspiracy theorist in me always finds things interesting. One of the things I found interesting is that the perfect person, somebody who's friends with the Corridor crew, somebody who has an established relationship with this website, the perfect person got an anonymous alert that he was in possession of this and then was able to do something about it. I find that interesting. It seems like it went to the right guy. I mean, maybe that's so. Maybe that's the industry. I don't know. The anonymous email is weird. The anonymous email, having that account talking about his fanboyness of the Corridor crew is bizarre. The fact that it went, like, all those things just stand out as strange. And if this was someone, again, I'm on the conspiracy side, right? If this was some other player, right? Another player who can fake the internet that well to throw off other people who, like, I've been following the Punjabi Batman. He's a bright guy.
Yeah.
You know, so you're telling this guy he's coming up against a wall, like, man, this is, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to do now. So you're truly fooling or not fooling, but backing these people into a corner with this coordinated information that paints the picture that they want.
Yeah, no, I have to drop, unfortunately, because I have another thing I have to go to. But you guys, you're free to continue to talk about it. You guys can ping me if you have any other questions, and I'd be happy to jump on. And next week or whenever you guys do the next one, what I would say though is that Reddit account out there that found these should come forward. They should reveal their identity and how they found them. If they want to add credits to these, if they really think it's debunked, they should put their skin in the game. I've had my name out there the whole time. So this idea that people are afraid of weirdos or whatever, like I've been getting literally attacked by everyone. So I would say if you're not willing to put yourself in that same position, then I don't think that your debunk really has a lot of credit to it. So the person that found that, if you want to really put the weight behind it, don't make Jonas be this person that's doing it. You put yourself out there. And Jonas, if he's listening out there, you should delete your video, because if you're really honest about not wanting to be involved in this, that's the easiest way to not be involved. Let somebody else do the debunking. Otherwise, it just comes off as dishonest. That's my final thoughts.
Hey, Ashton, thanks for coming on, man. And do me a favor, be careful. And when you're at sleep, make sure all your devices are offline and your phone's in like a Faraday cage.
I appreciate the guidance, guys. I love you guys, and have a good night, okay?
See you,
buddy.
Bye.
There you go, people.
Yeah. I mean, that was what I was hoping to get from him, because it's such a crazy.
It's hard to kind of.
It's
to talk about, isn't it?
We need to
so much to it.
Yeah, I feel like we need to. We're not talking like they're a tiny thing. We're saying that they are because they have a large channel does not mean they're absolute expert. They're not teaching college courses on FX.
It's okay. He knows the fact
he's just trolling for it.
I compared them to like Linus Tech Tips, one of the biggest tech YouTubers on the planet.
Dude, they have 2 channels, almost 14 million people. They're fucking huge.
Yeah, no one's saying no. They're not big.
This is just misconstruing our words and being ridiculous, man. Come on.
But I'm just amazed just how far this has got now. You know, I feel like maybe this is just one of these things that can never be debunked now. Maybe it's got that sort of escape velocity as a conspiracy theory does. And see, what really gets me about, and especially like people that are in the sort of like the community, is like we talk about stuff on this show. We've done shows on like Skinny Bob. We've done shows on Roswell Crash. We've done shows on Bigfoot. We've done shows on
lizard people.
We've done shows on a man that reckons he had sex with an alien cat, and we've done shows. We've done shows by somebody about people that might have been abducted or might have been fucked by their uncles. You know, it's a crazy topic.
Yeah,
there is no other conspiracy theory I've ever come across where somebody's put such diligent work into this as Ashton has. Even if it's wrong, like, even if he's made a mistake and he's got it wrong, and it turns out the work and length and breadth of that work that's been put in, like I just don't understand how people can be shitting on things like this.
Yeah, so I was waiting for Lee to wrap up there, but Silver Stargazer answered it correctly. In fact, Salvador Pius and a lot of these other big heads that Ashton has been talking to and had on his show, who eventually are experts and PhDs and doctors and mathematicians, those people have said, yeah, it requires a lot of power, but they believe it's totally possible, and it wouldn't vaporize a country or a huge swath. It doesn't work like that. So, I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm not a physicist. But the other physicists I have spoken to, who I really, because we have Ashton scheduled to come on in January, right?
January, yeah. Well, see, this, I was thinking of this, like how weird it's been. Like this thing came up, like we had a bit of a chat about it on our old Rockfin show, which will be coming back in the new year at some point. And we actually turned around and said, he probably won't come on our channel anyway. And then I shot my message. He comes on, we do our first interview with him, and they basically had him on every single week since then, because it's just got crazier and crazier and crazier, and he's been good enough to come on, which is nice. But
yeah, he's nice.
I'm fascinated by it, and that's I'm fascinated by it regardless of what happens. I think that's what people don't seem to understand. Like I'm not happy to close the book on something if it's not 100%.
Lee,
And
they
I
do
don't.
understand because they're here. Believe it
Yeah.
or
Well,
not,
that's
as
it.
much
We all,
bullshit as much
we're all.
bullshit as these are saying, they're here.
Are
Yeah.
you
know?
not entertained?
I love all
Exactly.
123 now down to 120 of
Sword.
them. Every one of you crazy bastards that are watching this and into this, just sit back, enjoy the ride, man. Enjoy the show. That's what it's about, right?
Because it's
And the
better
thing
than
is,
what's on Netflix.
hell yeah, conspiracies are real. People do conspire. I always hear that Occam's razor. It's simpler if that. No, man, people really do conspire. Like, we know that OPEC conspires on oil price. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy thing to do, but they do it. Banks conspire for interest rates. Governments and political campaigns conspire. Things conspire. The intelligence agency, I'm reading a book right now, which is fantastic. When I'm through it, I'll give it a full endorsement here, but it's going through the history of MK Ultra and when the CIA was doing it, and the different funding in esoteric organizations by incredibly wealthy backers and families in early 1900s America, and how they were using it and the research that they were doing and how it tied to the OSS, then the CIA, as well as Great Britain's brought in, and their use of different types of mushrooms and mind control and trying to open spectral, astral gates in the mind, and how serious they took it. It's a fantastic book. Huge conspiracies involved in all of that. They're all the time, man. They're all the time. People conspire all the time.
Do you know what a weird knock-on coincidence of this has been too?
What's that?
Like, I've been shadow banned on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Twitter for ages, like ages and ages and ages. Even when Elon Musk took it over, to the point where my counter, like follower counter, would hit a wall, and as soon as it went like 2 people over that wall, it would drop 10 back. Like, this happened consistently for 12 months. I would put like a tweet out and it would get like 3 impressions or something ridiculous like that. And it's only because I'm addicted to tweeting. I kept tweeting stuff out. I knew I was tweeting to nobody. Since the beginning of this, and since we've been talking about this and doing this, my shadow ban's been lifted. I find that I just find it really weird. I find it really weird that all of a sudden I can reach people.
I tend to tweet Shane Cashman a little more than I should in a very back and forth way. I'd like to get that guy on the show.
Was it who was it? Was it Greenwald? Is it John Greenwald? I forgot who.
Yeah, he tweeted you, didn't he?
Blackfoot. Yeah, it's like, what a weird day it was on Friday when all of a sudden John Greenwald. I hadn't tweeted him. I hadn't tagged him in anything, and he starts beefing at me. What a weird life. I like the Black Vault as well. I've lost a little bit of respect for him through
I like a lot of the people that have behaved very oddly and in a very synchronized way, but it doesn't surprise me, and I think people should take note. People are focusing on their hate on the subject or the grifter or this show or that show, and they're like, these guys are capitalizing. Anyone talking about it is capitalizing to bring in viewers, to grow the channel, because we can grow the channel, we can get better guests. I gotta be honest, you know why I do it? It's not for money or fame. It's because I enjoy talking to interesting people, because I'm on my own searching path. And I find the conversations I have with people after this show and before this show, and when I can finally email them and actually talk to them, I get the answers I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That's a personal motivation. And maybe one day we'll get sponsored by the government, and then we'll be just like everybody else.
Or maybe there's white hats. Maybe we can save the world.
I just don't understand why.
Why try?
I don't understand why all the conspiracy channels, because every UFO channel, whether you debunk a lot or not, you are a conspiracy channel, because you're talking about fucking aliens, UFOs, and all that.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous that some of the people that do this don't consider themselves conspiracy theorists.
But it's what I don't get with this case, because as you guys know, when I first started doing this, I started eventually doing debunks, and that's what brought the channel up. Then I stopped doing the debunks, so I get the debunk thing, but I don't get why anybody that's debunking this has not stopped to see that there is something crazy going on with it. But I have never seen anything like this.
The reaction is weird.
I've never seen it ever.
Maybe it's just where we are now. Maybe it's just the tribalism we're in. You know, it's I always think that this isn't necessarily a like an endorsement of anyone's politics, but I do think Trump threw the gasoline on tribalism when it came, and then that really ignited like right left politics, and then that seems to have seeped into fucking everything from fucking cookie making to knitting to it's like the only thing more toxic than ever than at all now is like video games. That's always been that way.
I don't play video games.
Yeah, well, that's because you didn't have a memory card because you
was poor,
crazy.
We didn't always have electricity or food either, so you know.
Yeah, but
like, I say, like, rub it in.
Video games could take your mind off being hungry.
Doubt it. Your lights would have to be on. Those two things are usually.
Dave ate his PlayStation. He's fine.
Yeah, just chewing it. Now it was never like, honestly though. All kidding aside, video games just never appealed to me. They just never did. I had friends that were way into it, and I tried, and it just wasn't for me. Just wasn't for me. I spent my time in the woods and or shooting. Kind of makes sense now, right? But you know, whatever.
It's a bit like a video game, I suppose.
Yeah, but something actually dies, so
okay.
You know, you get an erection.
The chat just cracked me up. Paige has just informed us that why isn't that showing? Show. I'm knitting right now, and now she's just outed herself as an alt-right knitter.
Oh my God, are we alt-right?
We all want alien sweaters.
I would love an alien sweater. I am a 2XL tall.
I'm a medium.
I would take a
always like an extra small.
Yeah,
not extra small at all.
Like you're like a children's medium.
Yeah, do gloves for him. Take you no time at all.
Almost no yarn required. Send him a piece of string tied together with 5 other pieces.
I have
of string.
normal size hands.
Do you?
Normal.
Normal? Like what is normal?
Listen, I'm not gonna. I'll make a fucking debunk on my fucking hands. Never mind fucking MH370.
Nobody will definitely believe that.
Did you check? Oh, I watched the first one, and my son came in. And I thought this is probably not for you. I'm gonna watch it. I like the look of it. I think it's like a short movie.
Oh,
it's a set. Yeah, it's a set of shorts.
Yes.
But that is a lot of sweaters.
Oh yeah, we got 117 people. The guys start giving her the sizes.
Yeah, what have you got against? What have you got against sheep? It's winter.
They taste delicious. At least they're children.
They do taste delicious. They're one of the nicest.
Taste delicious. The
animals.
young taste delicious. That's why they hunt us, not sheep. You know who I'm talking about. We all know who I'm talking about. We eat the young.
It is weird how it's like the only animal, isn't it? That everything else is like, oh, little cute. Can we kill that one while it's a baby, please, and roast it?
It's gonna be delicious.
Mince horse, please.
God, mince horse.
So let's get this fucking train back on the rails.
We have rails.
Do we think then? I've got a feeling that there is going to be enough evidence over the coming week that rebunks this case back into discussion.
I think you're right. Absolutely. So, so I addressed it on Friday.
I mean,
show,
still in
right?
discussion, I should say. We're here discussing it, but you know what I mean.
You know when this came out Friday, I addressed this on the Friday show, and I know probably not a chance to watch it, but
Oh no, I've had plenty of chances, Ollie. I just haven't.
I was just like, I wanted to say, I only said what I said because, and all I said was, well, we covered this, we did what we did. Ashton's a stand-up guy, but even myself, I was like, am I really seeing this? Is this really being debunked from somebody finding the actual cloud files? I couldn't even fathom it. And I'm thinking maybe there's some sort of super AI advanced system there that they can go and search loads of files to find these exact clouds. And I'm thinking to myself, through the show, while I'm actually talking about a completely different subject other than this, I'm actually thinking about MH370 and what we've been speaking about. I just can't fathom it. It doesn't make any sense at all. Makes zero sense.
Yeah, it's that's my problem with it. Is it's the fact that the evidence once again comes with a caveat.
I just got a message.
Paul Robinson said there's actually very few clouds on that site. I mean, I don't know.
Could be it.
I'd have to go and look. Yeah. Could well be.
Yeah.
Could well be.
Yeah. That's the thing is, one of the things I would push people to do is to come, like, he's a nice guy. People are coming down on him hard. He's just asking questions. He wants the truth. Why are people hating on him for wanting the truth? Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm trying to backtrack on something right now.
Yeah.
Please
see. I mean, the thing is, like, the Ashton said all along, the only thing that will truly debunk those videos is if the original creator, if they're a hoax, if the original creator comes forward. I think that's a fair statement.
I don't know.
I would agree.
We all pause there.
I would
I'm genuinely hunting something down.
But we've done the same. Because I know you've like one of Ollie's hard-ons is the Skinny Bob footage. I found it a tricky wank. Ollie, not so much. But the thing was, like, that's another one. Like, we could continue to talk about this whole thing, like, over and over and over and over and over again. Like, so the Skinny Bob footage. Sorry, I was half reading comments then while my brain was trying to speak, and so we could continually talk about Skinny Bob. And the only way to 100% debunk that video, even with all the inconsistencies that are in it, like the timer being different to the frame rate and all that sort of stuff, would be if some guy came forward and said, "I did it in Blender, I'm ace."
Something that I think is interesting is you see in the conspiracy world, when people believe something or don't believe something, they evangelize it. And it's the people who are 100% on board, want you to be with them. People who are 100% against are every bit as devout. But then they like to point and see this person's radical. They absolutely believe it's like, yeah, I mean, I can see your point, but you absolutely believe it's not, with very little evidence to go on. How are you so certain? Because it is. They answer the same way when I ask them a question.
It's exactly the same as religion.
You can you can have your own belief and just roll with it. It's fine, man. It's fine. No one needs to validate you. You don't need it from anyone else. But again, coming after him personally with the attacks, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You can not like it. If you don't like it, don't listen to him. You do not have to. You don't have to follow. You'd be like, there's conspiracy theories out there I'm just not on board with. You know what I don't do? Go around to everyone who believes it and just try and tear into them. It has nothing to do with me. That's fine.
You just leave it, don't you?
Yeah.
You might go and take a little peek inside the box, and then you're like,
well, not since I got that restraining order.
It's like that's not for me. I'll move swiftly on. I
Figured
don't
we would've
get
been
it.
all over that. You let me down, Lee. You let me down. No laugh.
Sorry. Unfortunately, I was just looking at Twitter to see if something, if there was anything going on, like regards to this. Unfortunately, what I did come across is if anyone out there follows 1,000 Ways to Die, that is a grim Twitter account. And that's what
That's my
caught my
spank
attention.
material right there.
So, somebody getting squished by a big stone.
Don't you tease.
I think it might be time to wrap this.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah,
Let's wrap this one up.
I appreciate everybody coming out. Please like, subscribe, share. We will have merch. I'm trying to bully these guys into doing some more merch.
Did
everybody like stickers?
Is there a link tree? Is there a link tree in there, Oliver?
There will be. I can't do it while the show's live.
You lied to me. So you can't just go and handily click the link, but if you've got your device in your hand, your phone or your iPad or another laptop or whatever else is you need, if you go to your podcast app of choice, search for Alien Addict, you can download us on all of the podcast things. We are 400 Spotify followers away from being able to monetize our Spotify, and we haven't
rewatch this.
Yeah, so if you're on Spotify, even if you don't want to listen to us, just go and follow us on Spotify because it will help.
We'd appreciate it, and be kind to each other. Be kind.
I mean,
it costs you. It costs you nothing.
Everybody, don't have to be kind to everybody. Just be nice to nice people.
If you don't want to be, ignore. Yeah, here's the thing: like, if you don't want to be kind to someone, just ignore them. Right?
Yes.
Give them silence. Right?
Especially if like
less negativity in the world, man.
That's the best way.
Oh yeah. No, then you sit back and watch and wank.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's nothing like watching someone drown. That shit will get you hard. Especially if you're drowning them. It's amazing.
Oliver, hit the thing.
There's a $145,000 bounty from Kim.com, Investigate Earth podcast, and a wealthy follower who ran for upper office. That they've all donated this money, and the intention is that anyone who can find the hoaxer of these videos, if anyone thinks that they're not real, go find the hoaxer, bring us the hard drive full of their source work, and you can get $145,000. That's how serious, not just me, but the people who've been following this case are about proving that these videos are authentic. If you really force me, like say, hey, Ashton, who do you think faked these then, given your newest update? I would say that this almost has to be some type of psyop in terms of the government or a state actor putting them together for whatever reason. Just because so much of the information is like classified information, military assets, and then just the amount of effort it would take to put together as well in such a small time frame. Okay, we just watched that effect several times. This is not the same. This is completely different. Now, what they've done is they've tried to match up a single frame of this. And all you have to do to debunk it for everybody listening is just ask how many pixels match. And the reason why no one will answer is because the pixels don't match. So that's very important. If you're trying to say that this effect must be the same, then the pixels must match 100%. The amount of painstaking effort it would take to change all the pixels, that's the reason why you use an effect, so that you don't have to painstakingly change all the pixels. This right here, this is not the same. This is not even close.
I got nothing. I got
No, me
It's
neither.
been a hell of a weird week, man. This whole
Here's to
thing's
another one.
weird. It's weird.
What we
Fun.
said, like living in the X-Files.
Yeah, well, I mean,